Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps lots. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Monday, April something or other. My computer's not showing me the dates. Monday, April 25th. We're going to take a look at Dogecoin today. Now, it's been quite a while since we looked at Doge, but today, obviously, we're up over 25%. And before anyone gets really sort of persnickety in the comments, when I say moon, I don't mean up 25%. I mean really moon. I mean like we're all the way down here. And I think a lot of folks feel that we didn't even ever get to the moon. So to provide some context, I don't mean 25%. I mean really moon. So obviously, I presume this is a big push off of the news today that Elon is going to take Twitter private. And, you know, he's the Doge father. And so, kind of running around throughout the day looking for secondary plays off of the news and stumbled upon Dogecoin and thought, oh, well, that could be interesting. So what I want to do in this video, again, to be super clear, so you can stop this at a little over a minute and a half if you don't want this type of video. I'm going to be doing a chart and technical analysis to say, if this is going to start flying, here's some key levels to look for it to break through and establish over and flip from resistance to support. And on the flip side, if it's a sort of, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation, then I'll look for, or I'll point out some support levels to the downside. So just know that's what you're getting in this video if you want to continue watching. Alrighty, folks. So on the 10-minute here, you see the move today, right? You see big jump here, a little after 11, stabilized, consolidated, and then broke this consolidation level here, a bit above 14, and rose up. And you see as it rose, it reacted nicely to these very old support and resistance levels that we had put in. This is the one that it really blew through, right? And then it wicked off of this 1689. So a lot of these look like they're holding. I guess the question is what support, since it's above this price now, really sits between 1529 and 1689. Is it really that 1578? Sort of like a to be seen, will it be something more like 1619 or maybe even that like psychological 16 level? So this 1578 might need some rejiggering as we sort of see how this plays out, but that would be in the case that it comes down and tries to find a level to base any support off of. This next run at this 1689, if that's what it does, could be really interesting and could show if it's gonna break out to the upside. Now, flipping things to the daily, you see this is one of the higher levels that we had charted. There's obviously going to be a pretty strong level here around 1730. So I'll put that in for now. I know the chart looks very cluttered, but it's mostly because there's a lot of levels to the downside, right? But if this does continue up, then it'll look less and less cluttered as we leave behind these 14 and 15 cent levels. So 1730, in recent past, probably just a little bit below that, actually 1727. Some, big pivot there from one quote-unquote trading day to the other. And, if we go back in time, we can put in a couple of additional levels. I'm going to get rid of all these previous downtrend resistance. They are, not a factor at this point. But if we take into account, this triple top essentially here, that is equally supported by support here, resistance here, and resistance here, right? So that's a pretty solid level, 1846. The nice thing is it's been through this territory before, right? And if we get into the 20s, we already have those charted. But in the meantime, we can go off of all of this previous action. I don't know why my cursor was going wild there. But all these levels pick up on previous support and resistance. So I'll maybe put one more in Again, not because I want to super clutter the chart, but I don't know when I'm going to make a follow-up video on Doge. And if it really does start to fly, I mean, you know that it can move, right? So these might come into play. Again, it might sell off and start to incorporate these lower zones. Let's talk about that while we're there. So if it does peel back, I'd look and see if it's going to hold this 1578. If not, 1529, 1512, 1490, 1465 are the prospective support or bounce levels that I'd look for it to try to catch on, see if it can hold and maybe, work its way back up. If it does continue to push to the upside, 1689 is that first most critical level for it to establish support over. You see, even on these days, it didn't really establish support over it, right? It kind of flew up, got rejected off the next level up, and then really quickly retraced all the way through the body of that candle and engulfed that previous candle body to the downside. So 1689 flip from resistance to support, really, really key, as the recent past has proved. If that works, a run at 1727 to do the same thing would be the next big level, because if it can't get itself through there, it's going to be a triple top and then a quadruple top. However many times it adds in tops to that level, it's going to tack them on to these as well. So getting itself through that level, that unlocks some pretty solid run room to 1846 is what it looks like to me at the moment. I mean, I know that these wicks topped out at some point, but I think we might have some smooth sailing there until 1846. Obviously, time will tell. And then if we get through 1846, 2018, 2159, 2379, those are just all levels that I would expect to show some friction, and that you can sort of keep your eye on, see what the price is doing at those levels. And you don't have to use the daily chart, obviously. You can trade on whatever time frame is sort of congruent with your trading style and what it is that you're trying to get out of this trade, and so on and so forth. But I'm mostly watching, like I said, to see what the price action does at those levels, to see if it seems like it's rejecting hard. Maybe it's going to come down and test the support level below. Certainly, if it starts breaking support levels, I'm going to pay strong attention to that. But like I said, there are these like really key breakout levels to the upside. That first one, to my mind, is 1727. Obviously, it has to get past 1689 to get there, like I said, but there's just much more run room, right? If it gets from that 1727, that run to 1846 is a nice percentage gain. So that's the one that I'm sort of got my eye on to kick things off, but we'll see if we even get there. But if you're in this one, good luck. It should be interesting times, as they often are. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.